Hi there, and welcome to today's vlog. I wonder what you'd say if I asked you, what do you think is the most well-known verse in the whole of the Bible? I reckon that the majority of people who are asked that question, who know anything about the Bible, would say that the most popular verse, the most well-known verse, is probably the Gospel of John, chapter 3 and verse 16. Let me read it to you from the Good News version. And this verse really is good news. John chapter 3, verse 16. For God loved, I'll start again. For God loved the world so much that he gave his own Son, so that everyone who believes in him may not die, but have eternal life. What a wonderful promise. This is from the lips of Jesus himself, talking about the extent of God's love for this world. Yes, this broken, sinful world and its people. God loved us so much that he gave his own Son for us. Jesus died on the cross to pay the price for the things that we have done wrong and open the opportunity that we might be forgiven and receive that new eternal life, so that everyone who believes in him may not die but have eternal life, or in the old version, may not perish. Now, why am I mentioning that? Well, let me explain. Sue and I like to watch a YouTube program, if you like, that is recorded or it appears every Sunday evening. It's called Facing the Canon. You can look it up on YouTube. It features J. John, you may have heard of him, an evangelist, who is a canon, an Anglican canon. And so every Sunday he interviews people who are followers of Jesus, involved in all sorts of different works and ministries. It's really encouraging, inspiring, and at times challenging. Well, this last 2 weeks he's been talking with a couple, Fiona Hendley and Paul Jones. You may well know their names. They've been involved in the world of pop and theatre and acting, etc., singing for many, many years. In fact, when we first came to Doncaster in the year 2000, there was a mission very soon after a mission event organised by Mission Doncaster at one of our local churches in Doncaster, and Paul Jones and Fiona Henley came and took part in that because they are followers of Jesus in the world of entertainment. Now, what's this got to do with John 3:16? Well, first of all, I encourage you to watch that. You'll find it on, if you look up, search for Facing the Canon, you'll find that interview, those two interviews, along with many others, well worth watching. But the reason I mention that in relation to John chapter 3 verse 16 is that Fiona Hendley happened to mention and recite, actually from memory, the Amplified Bible version of that verse. The Amplified Bible is, as the name suggests, amplified, gives extra words to try and help us to understand the full or a fuller meaning of a particular verse or passage. So I haven't yet memorized it as she has, but I want to read it to you because it really, really draws out the full depth of that wonderful verse. John chapter 3 verse 16 in the Amplified Bible. For God so greatly loved and dearly prized the world that he even gave up his only begotten unique Son, so that whoever believes in, trusts in, clings to, relies on him shall not perish, or come to destruction or be lost, but have eternal, everlasting life. Isn't that a wonderful translation? For God so greatly loved and dearly prized the world that he even gave up his only begotten, unique Son, so that whoever believes in, trusts in, clings to, relies on him, shall not perish, come to destruction, or be lost, but shall have eternal, everlasting life. Now that really is good news for our world and how our hurting, sad world needs to hear that good news. And the way they're going to hear it is if we who know that good news, who've experienced that love of God, share that good news through our daily lives, through our words, and through our actions. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening today.